I happen to have three dogs. I'm living alone, so I'm doing the cooking, the cleaning, the washing. I'm drying and folding up clothes. That's part of washing. A lot of times we say we washing today, but you ain't just leaving them clothes in that washer, are you? So then you got the dry, then you got the fold, and then you got the hang up. I have to maintain my health. For me, that comes in the form of trying to cook and eat decent meals, healthy meals, exercising. I have a pretty much full day, and I just really touched on the surface of what some of my responsibilities are. And I don't even have young children like most of you all, or some of you all may have out there. Um, but my point is, and I had 2 points. I don't have time to be in anyone else's business. I have enough business of my own. That's the first point. By the way, like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you can keep up with my material. Anyways, the second point I like to make is that in spite of all the responsibilities that you may have, the aspirations and inspirations that you have, in spite of the fact that you don't even have time to be in nobody else's business, I think is a very irrelevant point. It served as a point to say that maybe the nosy person needs to get some business, and that will help them and deter them, distract them from being in other people's business. But it's an irrelevant point because whether you have the time or not to be in someone's business, the business that you should be minding is that of your own. Excuse me, it's my morning coffee. Figured I'd share this before I left out. Um, what's worse for me as a man? What's worse for me is the men who gossip, the men who stick their nose in other people's business, and who have the audacity to assume, wrongfully so, that I'm interested. Now, those who actually know me, and I mean like know me from a somewhat of a personal, up close point of view, they know I'm just not with that. But I'm speaking of somewhat partial strangers. I'm talking about uh, people who are in associations and environments that, for whatever reason, you have to visit every now and then. Be it your job, for some people, be it the laundromat. For some people, be it the church. And a lot of this may be pre-COVID, but still, I'm sure you understand. People who really don't know you, but just assume that you really want to hear them discuss someone else to the extent where they're really putting the person down or sharing their personal business. For me, I'm not into it, and you shouldn't be either. Because keep in mind, the person who's talking about other people is just that kind of person. Hateful people hate, lovable people love. Doubters doubt. So don't think they're just gossiping outside of you. They'll probably be at some point gossiping about you. But the men, for me, is even more. It's almost like I'm witnessing some emasculation go on. And I don't mean any harm to say gossiping is a woman's thing. It's just that it's been more common among women in my culture when I was coming up, when I was growing up. But when a man brings it to me, it is like, dude, like, and sometimes you can't even check them or Let them know where you stand in certain environments. Because if I tell you in the church, man, I ain't trying to hear that, or I tell you at work, you know, you don't know what they might go do. Because if you gossip, bruh, I don't know what else you might do that may jeopardize, my job or put me at in a bad light in the church or whatever the case may be. And see, let me be clear. As gossiping and discussing someone is different. Usually, gossiping entails putting that person down, telling their personal business with like somewhat of a sour taste, somewhat of a bittersweet, knowing that something is going wrong in someone's life and you're kind of happy about it. Now, discussing someone is usually a little different. It's not. I'm you're basically telling the person or telling someone else, hey, did you hear about Tony? He got locked up last night or he got hit by a car. Did you hear that Tisha graduated? You're just discussing. And sometimes in discussing, it may not be the best outcome for someone. One person graduated, good outcome. Another person got hit by a car. Not a good outcome, but still, you're giving me information. You're informing me. You're not coming at me. Did you hear? What's the name? I can recall a dude coming to me saying, hey, Slim, I heard what's the name was gay. I'm like, and within myself, I'm saying to myself, first of all, what made him think that I wanted to hear this? Because I just simply don't carry myself like that. I'm all about minding my own business. And I have enough to mind. Second of all, who cares what someone's sexuality is? And now, bro, I'm questioning you. So what are you? And you know what's even worse? Is when the people that they're talking about, gossiping about, putting down, bickering about, a lot of times are the same people you've seen them with on a daily basis or interact with like they're on good times, and you'll probably see them with tomorrow. And in this particular case, the person this guy was talking about to me was someone who really liked this guy. And I was someone who wasn't very fond of this guy for those reasons. Be it he gossip, he just talk too much, he's loud, he just come across a certain kind of way that irritates my spirit. But it's okay. Keep your space, I'll keep mine. But now you're bringing it over here in my world. I'm going to have to check it. So you have to be careful, because if they're walking with this person all the time and talking about this person to you or anyone else, what makes you think they're not talking to you? Talking about you. You can just about very much assume that they are, and it's probably an even worse light. And one of the things that I've done that works, particularly in environments where it can get all, mixed up and misunderstood. Like I say, if you say, look, I ain't trying to hear that, and you go on this guy in a certain kind of way, it might cause a commotion, and you're in an environment where it's just not something that needs to be done. Again, whether it's your coworker, you're at work, you don't want to be written up or fired for something that somebody is bringing to you. You don't want to be in a laundry room or in church with no ill commotions. And it could be anywhere. It could be on the bus. I don't know. But you pick your environment. You know where you be. My point is this, though. How I've learned to deal with people who just can't mind their own business, keep it real short and sweet. When they share things with me, such as that, like the way I respond to this dude, I say, oh, okay. In other words, big deal. Big deal. Okay, the man is gay. Okay, what's the name? Fell short. Okay, and I see the smirk on your face, so you're enjoying the things that you're saying. So I have to counteract that. And the best way I find out is not to engage. I'm almost poker face, and I let them know, oh, okay. And if they proceed or persist, I'll let them know, hey, excuse me, hey, my man, hey, sis, I ain't really into that, man. Just like to mind my business, man. All right, have a good one. In the nicest way I can, because the environment may call for me to have that kind of composure. Whereas though outside of that environment, I don't think that many people who would know me would approach me, and a lot of people who don't won't have that kind of access to me outside environment unless we run to each other in the grocery store or something. But in any event, I may check you or counteract that kind of negative activity in a different way. It may be a little more aggressive, a little more assertive. Let you know, look, don't come at me like that, man. God forbid if I had my family or something with me. But some people are just that damn nosy. And the way you deal with them is to keep it short, let them know where you stand, let them know you're not with it. And the sooner you do it, the better. Because the more you pretend like you're listening, when you're really not with it, but you're just going with the flow just to be going because you don't want to rock the boat, the more you kind of reinforce them to keep coming back to you. Because you're somewhat of a listening ear now, even if you ain't saying nothing. They're getting something out of relieving it to you. And then if you wait down the line to say, let me check this now because I'm tired of it. Now it almost feels to them like you're switching up. It's a damn shame. And if you are that person, if you find yourself being in the shoes of that gossiper, the person that I'm speaking of now, stop it. Get you some business. There's a whole lot of it out there. And understand that everybody is not about putting other people down in the form of gossip, rumors, backbiting, and all the other degrading and demeaning synonyms that would go with that. Break the cycle.